Alright, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I was sitting here actually, to be honest with you guys, I have sort of like a Google Doc set up. I use a lot of tools in my life, to be honest. I'm working a part-time job. I'm thinking about taking a full-time job. For those of you that really don't know me personally, I've mentioned in some of my other videos that I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. I sell on eBay and Amazon. I've been doing that a lot. I just haven't been as motivated at times. I created this YouTube channel as a fun little side project, which the tennis videos are taking off. Let's go ahead and get into the point. I was just sitting here thinking, what video can I film as far as tennis related? I know that's what most of you guys want to see, and so I'm going to continue to produce the kind of content that you guys want because I enjoy it myself. And I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to just continue making like Novak Djokovic videos or anything like that. But I do believe he's the greatest player of all time. He is my favorite tennis player. And in this video, I'm going to make it relatively short. I'm going to give some of what my opinion is the reasons behind why I think he's the best tennis player of all time. I talk with people all the time. And I've mentioned this point in some of my other videos. So those of you that have seen my other tennis related videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think his game is the easiest to replicate. And so let's go ahead and get into this, and I gotta make it short anyways because I'm on my way to go play some tennis. But when I say easiest to replicate, the thing about the big three, and I believe we gotta give respect to Andy Murray and call it the big four. Of course, he's been kind of taken out of the group just because he only won a few Grand Slams. His achievements have almost been matched by other players, including Stan Wawrinka and Juan Martín del Potro and other guys. But I believe he has definitely earned himself a placement in that top category, even though I've never been the biggest fan of him. But I just want to give my respects to him. I respect all the tennis players, and it's just my personal opinion that Novak is the GOAT over Roger and Rafa. But getting into it, I think Novak is the most consistent player, the most mentally strong player, the most complete player of all time, or that is what describes him. Rafa is the greatest competitor in tennis of all time. I just don't believe that you can name me another athlete that will be match point down and plays as if, you know, like he's not about to lose. The pros are all so good at just whether they go away mentally or whatever and get lucky. They're pretty good about just hanging in there and finding a way to even come back from low point in a match to be able to come back and win. Djokovic has done it, of course, several times. Not going to point out any particular matches, but Rafa is the greatest competitor to me. I mean, there's nothing else that you can really say about his game. You can't say he's the most consistent. He has a great moonball lefty topspin shot that he puts onto the service line, which makes him consistent. But when we're actually talking about his game, I will say that, you know, once you can break his game down. Like what beats his game are the big hitters who are really consistent, from Stan Wawrinka, Del Potro, and whatnot. You can't really say the same about Djokovic, and I feel like that's what I mean. So if you can understand where I'm coming from, Djokovic being a complete player, he's going to break down whatever game you have. If you're a big hitter, you're a topspin, a slicer, or whatever. Rafa, he's a competitor. He's just the way you're going to beat him is you're going to have to beat him, you know. And he always finds a way. And I've lost my train of thought there a little bit. But the thing about Roger, and I'll go ahead and kind of wrap the video up. This just being that first point about their difference in games and all that kind of stuff. The thing about Roger, I just believe he's the most. You know, I hate to even call him the most talented because I truly don't believe he's the most talented, but the inside-out forehands and the style of play and the charisma about his personality and everything like that is just unmatched, and we'll never have another like him, unfortunately. I mean, plenty will try to be like him, like Grigor Dimitrov, in my opinion, try to essentially copy his style and everything like that, from his game specifically to who he is as a person, on the court, not off the court. But that's, to me, the difference between those three at the big picture. On the small picture, Novak's forehand, in my opinion, his ground strokes are so easy to, and this is where I've gotten debates in the comments, and I've never seen him in person, mind you, so I'm speaking on pure ignorance and just opinion here, but I feel like his technique on his ground strokes are really simple when you watch them. It's not like Nadal's forehand that you cannot teach, that whatever they call it, above the head follow through. Everyone can do it, but And I'm sure people would understand what I'm talking about if they went themselves to see these guys in person. Djokovic's forehand technique has been the same his whole career. You know, it's all these guys, from Rafa and Roger also. But when you look at Novak's forehand and backhand, it's such simple technique. Whether you want to say it's fluid and it's consistent, I'm just talking from like the outside looking in. His technique is so simple, like a simple Western forehand, which I've tried to replicate. I'll be honest with you guys, I've tried to replicate it, and people ask me, how do I hit such a flat ball with the Western grip? And I feel like I've copied Novak in a sense, and if you just watch his forehand, it's so simple. Like, he hits it unlike a lot of the other guys who have the really loose. His forehand is completely different than what's the gosh, I can't remember his name. I cannot think of his name. It's not Tsitsipas, but the other young player. And I was gonna edit the video and try and throw it in there, but I really am crunched for time here, and I want to keep these videos kind of raw. So just to show you guys, I'm not perfect, but there's another player I can see him so clearly. He has a two-handed backhand and a nice loose forehand, and he's a competitor against Roger and those guys also. But his forehand is nothing like that. His is much flatter. His whole game is much flatter. When you watch him in his practices and everything like that, his ball really stays low and flat through the court. And I just think it's so easy to replicate. I think that that's the biggest thing about him, is that his game is actually not all that special. When you watch him play against a Robert Bautista Agut or a David Ferrer in some of the older matches, players who have almost a similar style to him, the thing that gets him over, and even Davydenko back from the older days, I can just picture exact matches where, if you really take note, to the U.S. Open 2015 versus Bautista Agut, or Davydenko, U.S. Open 2011, not really, but where just because he's an inch taller, or just a little bit more willing to go for a winner, and he's been a little bit stronger than most of these guys I'm describing, and his ground stroke and his mental toughness, that's what's gotten him by. I mean, it's just a slight difference where it's like, I hate to say that there's nothing that makes his game so much more unique, but it's in my opinion just so simple. And yeah, anyways, I went on a little bit too long with this discussion. I really want to make some key points arguing why I think he's the best player, and maybe I'll do a part 2 to this. I think that that's what I'll do, so I'll already have my idea as far as what I want to film for the next tennis related video. But I'm going to continue to debate this because I don't really want it to be like, there is no right answer. Novak, how can we, like I had a debate in the comments on my most popular video on this YouTube channel. We can't declare a greatest of all time yet, because there may be someone that's being born today at the time of me making this video that will surpass these guys, or we just can't declare a winner between the three because their careers are still going. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and so I just like to have fun with this. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I created this YouTube channel, and I hope you guys will continue to support. Let me go ahead and get out of here and have some fun with my own game that is not as good. So thank you guys for watching. Maybe one day, like I said, I will share my own tennis related videos, like of me playing and all that kind of stuff in my tennis background. But that's for another day. Hopefully we'll get more support on the YouTube channel, and that'll definitely motivate me. So thank you guys. Keep liking the videos. Keep leaving the comments. I appreciate it. See you guys soon. Peace.